For triplets, Iris, Ileana, and Isaac, childhood was a walled garden of absolute security. The defining symbol of this era was a karaoke machine, a gift used purely for the joy of performance, with no stakes attached. The family relied on a specific structural design. Their father, an assistant vice president at a major music production company, acted as the financial engine. He was rarely home, while their mother served as the emotional anchor, providing the constant attention and care that defined their home life. This environment allowed the siblings to develop their musical talents in a vacuum of privilege. Calling themselves the Turner Threes, they sang and played guitar for fun, viewing their music as a tool for family bonding rather than a career. That bubble burst during their freshman year of high school. Their mother suffered a debilitating stroke, and shortly after, their father's company lost a massive copyright lawsuit. He was out of a job, and the family was suddenly drowning in medical debt. The simultaneous removal of their mother's care and their father's income created an immediate survival vacuum. The systems that once protected them had simply ceased to exist. Their father's attempt to pivot into freelance talent management failed. As the bills mounted, he spiraled into a deep depression, eventually retreating into his basement and abdicating his role as a provider. The financial burden shifted downward. To keep their home and pay for their mother's treatment, the teenage triplets had to generate capital immediately. This chart shows the rapid reorganization of their family dynamic. When the parent tier collapses at the top, the pressure pushes an arrow of responsibility onto the children. Their casual hobby, the Turner Threes, was instantly weaponized into the family's primary revenue stream. As the diagram updates, you can see the new reality. The band's output is no longer recreation. It's medical debt and mortgage. Every gig they played at local cafes carried the threat of their mother's health declining if they failed to earn enough. The strategy worked initially. By their junior year, the Turner Threes won competitions and booked enough gigs to stabilize the family's immediate financial freefall. While this pivot saved the house, it also rewired the siblings' relationship. Their shared passion had been converted into high-stakes labor, and the strain of that transition was about to tear them apart. As the crisis dragged on, the unified front among the siblings began to fracture. They were teenagers performing the roles of adults, and they had developed conflicting ideas on how to survive. Iris adopted a tactical survival mindset. She believed immediate cash flow was the only priority. To her, every hour not spent practicing or performing was a betrayal of their mother's recovery. This model compares Iris's tactical loop of constant gigging for current expenses to Ileana's strategic path of long-term education. Ileana viewed a high GPA as a shield against systemic shocks, believing Iris's hustle left them exposed to the next inevitable crisis. When Ileana officially quit the band to focus on physics and college prep, Iris was forced to recruit a venue owner's daughter named Kat to take over on the drums, keeping the music going. Kat was a logistical necessity, but her presence deepened the divide. As Kat and Iris grew close, sharing clothes and styling each other's hair, she became a physical replacement for the sister who had walked away. Both sisters were reacting to the same trauma with perfectly logical survival plans. However, these strategies were completely mutually exclusive, quickly turning their quiet home into a tense and volatile philosophical battlefield. The tension turned into active sabotage. Iris, resentful of her sister's focus on the future, slipped a fake acceptance letter from a prestigious university under Ileana's door, waiting for her sister to celebrate before revealing the cruel prank. Ileana retaliated with open contempt. She treated Kat as an intruder, dismissing her as a friendless loser who was only there because she had no one else, undermining the very structure Iris was using to pay the bills. This toxic cycle peaked in their mother's hospital room. A vicious screaming match erupted, turning the quiet recovery space into a theater of warfare. In their scramble to be right about how to save the family, they were destroying the very unit they were trying to protect. Kat dragged Iris away from the hospital fight and led her to a nearby park. She didn't offer advice. Instead, she shared the story of her brother, Austin. Kat pulled out a silver locket. She explained that the last time she spoke to her brother, they had a screaming match over a video game. She told him life would be better if he didn't exist. Austin died in a car accident that same morning. Kat's story acted as an ideological mirror for Iris. It highlighted the irreversible risk of a life defined by resentment, showing that a sisterhood can be lost far more permanently than a house. The paradigm shifted. Iris realized that securing their short-term finances was a hollow victory if it came at the cost of the sister she was working to save. The sisters eventually lowered their defenses. Iris apologized for her anger and the prank, while Ileana admitted her hostility toward Kat was rooted in jealousy. She felt she had been replaced the moment she tried to build a future for herself. Executing a survival strategy during a crisis is a matter of logic, but maintaining the family unit requires the emotional intelligence to value the person over the plan. No amount of future security is ever worth the permanent loss of the people you are fighting for.